Alrighty then, let's see if this works. I tried doing this with an older version of OBS. It didn't quite work out. So let's talk about streak missiles for a moment. Now, this is my buddy, the Streak Bomber. It's a bad dog with 6 Streak 6. There we have it, 6 Streak 6, active probe, 3.5 tons of ammo, 2 extra heat sinks, 4 4 extended range medium lasers, because I want the capacity to hit people from outside of streak range. Heavens forbid it. And it's nice to have energy backup weapons, though who knows, maybe I wouldn't even need those if I carried more ammo and maybe a tag or something. I don't know. But this is a build that required a lot of compromises. As you can see, I've cut the leg and armor down a fair amount. The legs are shy 30, the arms are shy 15. Ammo is very tight. And it's going to run hot. It's totally going to run hot. Skills, I don't have high explosive because I just could not justify the extra skill point outlays. Missile spread is irrelevant to streaks because they target bones inside of the enemy mech and then zero in on those. So missile spread literally has no effect on streaks at all. Survival, I've got a lot in the survival tree because of how much I stripped down the armor on this sucker. I could probably get rid of that one too, but I'm not going to tinker with it right now. Mobility, I've got maxed speed tweak because that's just the way I roll. Operations, I got 2 cool runs in there. Wish I had more, but don't. Sensors, I've got a whole butt ton of dark target decay because it's really useful when you're using lock-ons like streaks, especially seeing how streaks can't fire without a lock-on. Yeah. Auxiliary, I basically have it so I can carry 2 cool shots because, dear gods, cool shots are just needed on this thing because it runs hot. It runs hot. Now, mind you, streaks, especially clan streaks, are less efficient than they used to be. Before the Cauldron changes, they were doing 2 damage per missile. After the first round of Cauldron changes, they nerfed it down to 1.5. But to compensate, they increased the ammo count for clan streaks, and they reduced the cycle time on the weapons. Right now, they're sitting at 1.7 damage per missile, which is better, but still not what it used to be. And I know the inner sphere streaks do more damage, but you know, the topic of streaks comes up every now and again on the official forums, and it's been a long while since I've run this little experiment, and so I figure it's time I did a more up-to-date demonstration. So there we have the stock 1B Commando. So all it has is stock armor, stock equipment, and quirks. That's it. That's it. Now, the armor on the stock Commando 1B is less than great, but it's not absolute garbage either, if I recall correctly. But, you know, it's got no skills on it, so it doesn't have any extra armor from that. It's got a standard engine, so that's a little bit tankier, but it's slowed. That's okay. It's not exactly a moving target here. So let's demonstrate exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to throw 36 streaks at it right now. Now, every time you do this, it's random. It's weighted random, but it's still random. You're never going to quite get the exact same results with each volley. That said, I've done serious armor damage to the left arm and center torso, some decent armor damage to the legs. Right arm has been armor stripped and has taken some internal damage. No damage to the right and left torsos, and streaks do not go for the head at all. So, yeah, I just plowed 36 streaks into it, and it's still more than operational. still dangerous, etc., etc., etc. Yeah. Let's do it again. Right arm is gone, left arm is stripped with serious damage. Center torso is stripped with significant structural damage. Right torso has taken some damage. The legs have both taken some pretty serious armor damage. Still functional, still dangerous. If this thing had an XL engine, it would still be going. I have now plowed 72 streaks into it.
Target destroyed.
It took me over 100 streak missiles, 108 if you want to be precise, to take that little bun of a sitch down. Now, the first time I tried to run this, it was with an older version of OBS, and the save got weirdly corrupted. Systems didn't know what to do with it. I think because it defaulted to saving in Flash. But I was actually able to throw that third volley into it without killing it in that video. But that's what happens when you have things like random assignments. Okay, so this is a Jenner. I'm going to come at it from now the stock Jenner D with quirks. Now the thing to keep in mind with this is that the stock Jenner D is horribly under armored. Horribly. But since I'm coming at it from the side and the missiles home in, they trace as straight a line as possible towards their targeted mech bones and just detonate when something gets in the way. As you might see, I just screwed that Jenner's left side to hell. I will also point out that despite how tightly clustered that damage was, that if that was a actual Jenner you would see in a game, number one, it might still have armor, because, once again, the stock Jenner D is very poorly armored. Number two, even if it didn't, it's still got its side torso. In an actual live match, a Jenner running an XL engine would still be completely dangerous. Completely dangerous to you at that point. Then, of course, there's also the question of what about, the fact that they don't require aim. Yeah, okay, you don't aim them. Oh, look, this is what happens when you don't aim. They don't fire. Do you need to do aiming? Sure you do. It's not precise aiming, not by any stretch of the imagination, but the amount of aim required to get that lock. 1,001, about a second and a half, give or take. Give or take. Now, if I was using, say, an inner sphere autocannon 20, I could just go like, bam, right there. Before you even get the lock on, you've hit them. And that's where things like pinpoint front-loaded damage weapons, like, standard inner sphere autocannons, particle cannons, that's where those have like a really huge advantage. Because you literally just point and click. They don't require a lot of aiming. They do require precise aim. For example, and there's a valid criticism about how imprecise your aim can be. As you can see, the crosshairs are in the box. I have a missile lock. I fire my lasers, and I hit nothing. I hit nothing. Because that little bun of a sitch does not fill the whole damn box. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to be a little bit balanced, at least address some of these arguments and criticism, and some of them have a certain amount of point, but they're also not entirely accurate either, which is why I do address them here. Now, had that been in a live match, that Jenner might still be functional because it would have had more armor. But let's say for sake of argument, it's a live match, someone stripped that Jenner down for like, I don't know, pulse lasers or something else, I don't know, then it would be dead. Because, hey, look, side torso gun, and these things almost universally run XL engines. Now, another thing is how, mech geometry can do weird things, because the way the center torso on the Jenner juts out, the missiles targeting the far side are just going to plow into the center torso. The side torso and the arm are unlikely to take any freaking hits from this. As I said, as we see, the side torso and the others, the far side torso and the arm, took no hits. In a mech with a more humanoid geometry, those totally would have gotten hit. But because that center torso juts out the way it does, it took the shot for it. And mind you, even before these things got nerfed down to 1.7, 1.5 damage each, on 2 separate occasions, I plowed a full spread of 36 streaks into the face of a Locust. Watched him face tank it and he ran. Now, I'll grant you, that Locust was, after that, was in no condition to screw with anybody. Was he dead? Oh, hell no. Was he still dangerous? Yes. Was he in such a bad shape that just about anything could conceivably kill him in one volley? Yeah, probably. But the idea of streaks being insta-kills against lights or insta-gibs and hard counters, no, it doesn't work that way. Because right here, if I keep moving that reticule in and out of the box, like what would happen with a fast, cagey opponent trying to circle around me, it would be really hard to resolve that missile lock. Now, granted, though, some people are going to say, well, if you don't use the medium lasers and maybe, get like a light tag and some like micro lasers or whatever, that would be different. You're absolutely right. It would. But once again, then you're looking at my functional range. Those streaks, as I have them skilled up right now, have a maximum range of 385 meters, and that's it. They don't hit anything further out than that. So that Centurion over there at 438 meters out, let's just throw 18 streaks at him. And I threw 36 because I clicked the wrong button. But as you can see, he didn't get hit. Missiles detonate at the end of their maximum range. Unlike energy weapons, which reach well beyond that. These mediums have a max optimal range of 427. He's at 438. I totally just did damage to his arm. A significant amount. Which is also why I have those things around, so I can actually reach out and touch people. But, I mean, yeah, the whole idea that it's a hard counter and they don't require any aim, blah, 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 blah. It's not a hard counter. I mean, I don't even know what more to tell you than that. They're not. It's a myth. It doesn't work that way. They don't require any aim. They do require aim, they just don't require precise aim. And they do require great aim in greater time. So, yeah, you can't snapshot with these like you can with an AC-20, an AC-10, or even, heavens forbid, a burst fire UAC. You could still get some damage off in less time than it would take you to acquire Streak Lock. You know? And it's one of the few weapon systems in the game that can be rendered completely useless. If, for example, you get 2-3 ECM mechs to swarm you, those streaks are useless. They're just useless. You can't do anything with them. And that's really bad. That's totally bad. And no other weapon system is the game like that. Even other lock-on weapons, LRMs, ATMs, you can deadfire them. You can shoot them without a lock. You can't do that with streaks. You just can't. No lock? You hear that little buzz? No lock? No boom. No whoosh. No nothing. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. So, yeah, I mean, mostly it's just intimidation factor. And as you saw in the Mech Lab, the tonnage requirements for these things frequently involve making some serious compromises. I mean, I had to compromise armor and needed cooling on this thing because, quite frankly put, if I went over here and I started just going at it, yeah, sure.
Heat level critical.
2 alphas, I'm getting heat warnings. And then another 18 streaks on top of that, I'm shut down. Now, granted, in an actual live match, I'd totally be running an override right there.
Target destroyed.
Stock CN9A plus quirks. It's a little bit under-armored, but not super bad. Not super good either. But hopefully my point's made, though. I mean, especially with that. If this had been straight SRMs, I would have rocked his world so damn hard it wouldn't have even been funny. So, yeah, it's a gimmick. It's like a meme build. It's like a Dire Star or a Giga Drill. It's not as dangerous as you think it is. It's really not. Believe me, I wish otherwise was the case, you know? So, yeah, that's it in a nutshell. So, thanks everybody, and be good, stay safe, kill nobody I wouldn't, happy gaming. And I'll catch you whenever the hell the next time I catch you is. Later, fellas.